Hey, what's up guys, my name is Pavinder from PNPtutorials and you're watching the PNPtutorials channel, and in this video we are basically going to talk about the Kali Linux on Raspberry Pi 4. So yes guys, you know that Raspberry Pi 4 was released on 23 June, but now just after 12 days Kali Linux has released Kali Linux image for Raspberry Pi 4. Now here we have all the update that is coming out through the Raspberry Pi 4 web page. So here you can see what's new on the Raspberry Pi 4, a more powerful CPU. It comes with 1, 2 and 4 GB of RAM, USB-C power supply and USB 2.0 as well as USB 3.0 as well. Now we also have 2 micro HDMI port, which means if you want to run Kali Linux in dual display, then you will also be able to do it. Now our first step is to actually download the Kali Linux for Raspberry Pi 4. Now before we really go to the download process, let me tell you guys that Kali Linux has also released only the 32-bit version for the Raspberry Pi 4 for now, but in future they will be releasing the 64-bit version. So now let's just click on Kali ARM download page. First will be the Kali Linux for Raspberry Pi 2, 3 and 4, and that will be the 32-bit version. You need to click on that version and download it for you. Once you will click on that, then it will take around 860 GB of data to download it into your PC. Once you have downloaded it, then you will be able to see a file something like that. So just right click on it and click on extract here. Here I'm using WinRAR to extract this file. It'll take some time to extract this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in the 16 GB SD card, which is of class 10, and that SD card will be much faster. We have actually extracted the Kali Linux image. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in the 16 GB SD card into my card reader, and then I will plug in that card reader into my CPU. I've just done that. Now here you can see guys, I was actually using this SD card for my GoPro. So I'm gonna format this SD card. Just click on format, click on start, click on OK. Now for your information, if you have already installed any sort of operating system on this SD card, then you will not be able to see the complete size. So for that, what you can do is you can just download this software, that is BootEyes. So just double click on it to open this software. So what that software will do is it will actually completely format your SD card. So here you can see guys, I have 14 GB SD card, and then you can click on parts manage, and then you can head over to repartitioning and then click on USB SSD mode single partition. You might be selected with USB SSD multiple partition, but you need to just skip that and click on USB SSD single partition and click on OK. Once you will do that, then your SD card will be formatted to its original size. Here you can see guys, I have 14.8 GB of SD card. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open a software called Etcher. So I have downloaded this software. The link to download this software is also given in the description below. You will see something like this once you will install this software. Here you can see guys, here we have the Etcher software. Now I'm gonna click on select image, and now I will head over to desktop, and here we have the Kali Linux 2019.2 RPI3 Nextmon image. Just click on open, and here you can see guys, we also have the generic USB device. And now I'm gonna click on flash, click on yes. Now here you can see guys, the flashing process has been started. Now it will take around 4 minutes to flash this file over this 16 GB SD card. So let's just wait for that time to finish. Now there are actually two ways to access this operating system. Either I can SSH into this Kali Linux by knowing the IP address of the Kali Linux, or what I can do is I can connect the HDMI monitor. So here you can see guys, I'm actually using this micro HDMI to HDMI cable, and I will connect the micro HDMI part of this cable into my Raspberry Pi 4, and then I will connect the other end of this HDMI cable into my 24-inch monitor. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug in the power cable, and that will actually start the booting process. And here you can see guys, Raspberry Pi 4 is now booting with Kali Linux. And for your information guys, I have also plugged in the USB receiver for my Bluetooth keyboard and mouse. And guys, here I'm using 1 GB Raspberry Pi model. Now it is actually resizing the file system. Now here you can see guys, Kali Linux has just boot up. So I tried to boot it up for the first time, but it got stuck at resizing the file system. So what I have just done is I have actually plugged out the power cable and then I have plugged back in, and now it is working fine. Now we should enter the default username and password of Raspberry Pi, or you can say Kali Linux, because Kali Linux operating system is running on it. So I'm gonna use the root as the username and the password will be the TOOR. Now if you want to buy the Raspberry Pi accessories, then link is given in the description below. If you want to buy the Raspberry Pi Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, or the LAN cable, or micro HDMI to HDMI cable, everything is linked down below. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on use default configuration, and there you can see guys, we have the three buttons called trash, file application, home, and then the application as well. Now when you will click on that menu, then you will be able to see all the tools that Kali Linux have. So by default it comes with limited tools. If you want to install all the tools of Kali Linux, then what you can do is you can definitely make the use of apt install Kali Linux full. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on terminal emulator, and then I will try to actually enable the monitor mode on it. Kali Linux is claiming that they have also enabled the monitor mode, so it should start with mon start. Let's hit enter, and here you can see guys, bring up monitor mode interface WLAN0 mon. Now let me just try to do iwconfig to see the list of interfaces, and here we have the WLAN0 mon. Now let's see if this monitor mode interface is working or not. Let me just try to run the airdump-ng with WLAN0 mon, hit enter, and here you can see guys, you can see the routers near me, and these are all the routers that are available around me. And guys, you know that Raspberry Pi Wi-Fi chipset is not that strong, but yes, it supports the monitor mode as well as the packet injection, so you can always sneak into the Wi-Fi routers around you. Now if you want to install the Kali Linux completely, then what you will have to do is you will have to first update your repositories, and you can do it with the help of apt update. Now if you see here, these repositories are actually downloading very slow. Now if you want to make them faster, then what you will have to do is you will have to press Ctrl+C together, and now you can head over to a file called etc apt sources.list, hit enter. Now simply press I to go into the insert mode and press S here, and that will actually make your repositories HTTPS, and you will be able to get the repositories data at very high speed. So I'm gonna hit enter. Now I'm gonna try to update the repositories again, and here you can see guys, few repositories are still being loaded from recent kernel, and that actually works for only the repositories that are system default. So let these repositories update, and then we will try to install full version of Kali Linux into our Raspberry Pi 4. Now here you can see guys, the speed has been significantly increased. It is 656 kilobyte per second. Now repositories has been updated. Now let me run apt install Kali Linux full. Let's hit enter. Let's press Y to continue. Now it will take around 1.4 GB of data to be able to install full Kali Linux into your Raspberry Pi 4. And right now, to be honest guys, my Raspberry Pi is about to boil. It is so heat up right now. And I think Kali Linux upgrade will definitely make it little cooler than expected. So that was everything for the video. I hope you guys like this video. So if you guys like this video, then give it a big thumbs up. If you are new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming Raspberry Pi videos. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.